Live from Ball State University. News for the campus community and all of Delaware County. This is NewsLink Indiana.
This afternoon, the bomb squad was called to the corner of High and Main Streets outside the Delaware County building. Good evening. I'm Brandon Pope.
And I'm Jillian McNulty. Thank you for joining us. Police tell NewsLink Indiana that employees at the MIT station alerted them to a suspicious package by a trash can around 1 p.m. After checking out the box, the bomb squad detonated the package about 90 minutes later.
As you can see behind me, the Delaware County Bomb Squad is in the process of clearing up a suspicious package that they detonated at around 2:30. The cars showed up around 1:30 and the streets were blocked off around 2. In Muncie, Rachel Fagan, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Rachel. Officials say they will send the remains of the package out for testing. There's no word yet on when the results may be available.
The Muncie Community School Board voted yesterday to consolidate Southside High School and Central High School. Although the decision was largely expected, Payne Horning reports that the fallout was still very emotional.
Then I guess it comes down to the vote at this time.
Nobody else has anything to say to save our children. Yeah. Or for you to have spoken loudly on what they want to see happen. No one else has anything else to say.
Residents packed the Muncie Area Career Center Monday night for a special meeting of the Muncie School Board. The only item of business on the agenda, consolidation.
I recommend to the board that we merge the two high schools, bringing Southside High School student body to join Central High School. The Southside building will convert to Southside Middle School, with Wilson being the vacant building.
The board supported the motion 4-1, with President Bev Kelly as the lone vote against consolidation.
And I felt in my heart that there were other things that we could have done under cost containment to save money besides doing these two schools, and I still feel that way.
Kelly's opposition vote received a standing ovation. Nearly 1,000 high school students come here to Southside every day for their education. Their new home, 4 miles away at Central High School. Julie Snyder, a teacher at Southside, said the result of the board's vote came as no surprise.
It's just sad. I mean, this is a great school. We have wonderful kids, wonderful graduates, current students that love the school. We have a lot of pride. I've been there almost 20 years, and it's just heartbreaking.
Superintendent Heller said Central was the only school that could accommodate all 9 to 12 students.
If there's no other business, then this meeting will be adjourned.
Muncie School Board's decision to consolidate Muncie Central and Muncie Southside will be putting one Muncie Middle School on Indiana's unused facilities list. NewsLink's Victoria Wilson is live with more information. Victoria?
Go. Hey guys, I'm standing outside of Wilson Middle School. Last night, the Muncie Community School Board decided to vote in favor of consolidating Muncie Southside and Muncie Central. With that consolidation, that's going to leave Muncie Wilson Middle School behind me empty for the next 2 years. I spoke with a current Southside student and a graduate Southside student about their thoughts on Wilson Middle School taking over the now Southside High School.
It's kind of funny actually, because when I was at Muncie Southside, it was when they were actually finished building Wilson Middle School. I was the last class to go through the old Wilson Middle School, and initially there were rumors that they were going to make the new middle school Southside High School, because Muncie Southside is so dilapidated that it would make more sense to have an updated high school rather than a middle school. So having gone through that and having seen the multi-million-dollar school that they built, that was way better than either high school. It really didn't make a whole lot of sense, and that is probably the decision that I question the most.
It doesn't really make sense. It would be so much easier to combine the middle schools with the high schools than just combine the high schools.
As of October 8th, Indiana only had 8 schools on the Indiana unused facilities list. Wilson Middle School will be the first of Delaware County and the first of Muncie Community Schools added to the list. Live in Muncie, Victoria Wilson, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Victoria. The nearest unused facility is Garrison Elementary in Richmond.
As Ball State officials continue to investigate after last week's gun scare, they'll also be looking at the effectiveness of their emergency communications. NewsLink Indiana's Jacob Burbrink takes a closer look at Ball State's new Twitter alert system during its first true test.
The Twitter account, which launched following student demand for faster communication during campus emergencies, kept students up to date during the 3-hour lockdown. Minutes after first reports, the alert account sent out tweets instructing people to avoid the area around the center. Police swarmed the campus and went through the center to evacuate students and to look for the reported gunman. Megan Dearlove, a freshman communications major, was in the field and sports building when the incident began. Dearlove said that the emergency response system helped keep the group stay calm during the lockdown.
I think it helped a lot because it was a constant update. I know once I finally got my phone back, I had at least 10 text messages from like the BSU alert account and everything, so that helped a lot. I mean, obviously I didn't have my phone, but Elizabeth did, and she was able to keep checking and being updated, so I think it really helped a lot. It would have been scarier without that.
During the event, several students reported they got news from Twitter feeds other than the Ball State alert account. Tony Proudfoot, a university spokesman, said this is not surprising.
You got to keep in mind that this is a public space, and every student that is in there has an iPhone that probably has Twitter on it. It is also right across the street from one of the best journalism schools in the country. And so if we have an enterprising student over there that sees something happen, they're going to tweet that out, and that's going to start. That's just the nature of managing these events today. It has no reflection on the degree to which we manage the incident.
Police report that no gunman was found and no one was injured during the event. In Muncie, Jacob Burbrink.
Thanks, Jacob. Now, before the incident, the alert account had only 10 followers. But as of 3 p.m. Saturday, currently the account has nearly 4,900 followers. Quite a jump.
Sunday's severe weather outbreak is one for the history books. The National Weather Services say that at least 26 tornadoes touched down in Indiana. This makes it the third largest tornado outbreak in state history. The most active tornado day was June 2nd, 1990, with 33 tornadoes. Now, Brandon, I just can't believe all the damage these storms caused. It's crazy how quickly they all whipped up.
Yeah, the hot and cold gets together, that mix. Chris Swain, let's check in with you, see if we can get some more balance in the weather going forward.
Yeah, we do have some changes coming into play, and what was unique about that system was how fast they were moving. A truly remarkable historic event we had there on Sunday. Let's talk about right now, though. We're at 30 degrees, and that east-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour is actually dropping temperatures to what feels like 25 degrees. And this pressure is sitting at 30.34 inches of mercury. Now, basically means just a high pressure is building, and it's starting to break up some of these clouds, as you can see as satellite and radar starts to move in. Now, that's pretty much going to be the case for tonight. We're going to see a lot of clearing. These clouds move from west to east across the country, and it's going to allow temperatures to drop a bit. We actually had some low temperatures last night, and that's looking to be the story here. Of the changes that this system's bringing include we're going to have a period of calmer weather, a rainy pattern is in my forecast, and a really sharp temperature drop. Make sure you stick around to find out when. And back to the desk.
Well, thank you, Chris. You know, the start of the holiday shopping season is just days away, but this year the registers are going to be ringing before the turkey cools. Find out why. Some stores are pushing their shopping hours earlier and even earlier.
And still ahead, the relief effort continues after tornadoes ravaged parts of the Hoosier State. We'll introduce you to families trying to put the pieces back together after this.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back. A Virginia senator is in the hospital tonight after police say he was stabbed by his son in an attempted murder-suicide. Creed Deeds was found stabbed multiple times in the head and torso at his home this morning. Authorities say it appears Deeds was stabbed during a fight with his son. Deeds' son, Gus, was found dead inside the home. Police say they are not looking for any other suspects.
Now time for a look from headlines around the area on Ball State's source for online news, The Daily. I'm Sage Driver. Look in tomorrow's edition of The Daily News for a comparison between different universities and how they have handled similar situations to the lockdown that occurred Friday afternoon. The Department of Homeland Security says more than 50% of Hoosiers are not prepared for emergencies. They're lacking things such as water, food, and flashlights. There's a chance universities will be able to offer full cost of attendance for their athletes. In tomorrow's edition of the DN, it will go into detail on how Ball State and other mid-major schools will be able to afford this cost. For these stories and more from NewsLink, WCRD, SportsLink, and Ball Bearings, and the Daily News, go to bsudaily.com.
In light of Thanksgiving shopping, over 1,600 Simon Mall employees have signed an online petition urging their company not to open on Thanksgiving. The Baumgart petition, named after its founder, has appeared on change.org and is gathering support. Nationwide, many other stores are opening their doors to increase holiday shopping revenue. Mackenzie Clark has more on the story.
Holiday season is here and shoppers are expected to spend 3.9% more this year, according to the National Retail Federation estimate. In accordance with the statistic, various stores are opening their doors on Thanksgiving. Sophomore Cody Krause told of his opinion.
I feel like stores being open on Thanksgiving really takes away from the holiday because it's, it's your choice to go or not. If you choose to go to shopping on the holidays, well, that's part of your own holiday. It's your choice, so.
Last year, 247 million people shopped on Black Friday, and over the 4-day weekend, $59.1 billion were spent. Among the stores open in Muncie, Target, Best Buy, Kmart, Kohl's, Macy's, and the Simon Mall will be open. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Mackenzie Clark.
Thanks, Mackenzie. We'll keep on the lookout. Well, coming up, hear from survivors of the Kokomo tornadoes as the cleanup process around the state starts to get underway.
And their heartfelt stories are coming up when NewsLink Indiana returns.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Trees and power lines down, roofs blown off, neighborhoods on the verge of being flattened. That's the scene just 60 miles north of Muncie, Indiana in Kokomo, where a tornado blew through the city Sunday afternoon. NewsLink Indiana's Corey Olenkamp traveled to Kokomo and has a look at the cleanup effort.
Volunteers from all over the state have flooded to assist with the cleanup in Kokomo City after the National Weather Service confirmed 2 EF2 tornadoes. Dozens gathered at shattered homes to help salvage personal belongings and clean up the rubble. Homeowners had a different story to share. Scott Scheinen, a resident of Cedar Crest, was not home at the time of the storm. Scheinen talks about coming home to one of the hardest hit areas in Kokomo.
It was pretty tough. We got to see it at night, and walking down the road and seeing the trucks near our house because we had to park down the block. So it was pretty tough walking up.
The bad situation didn't lower Brian Harless's sense of humor when he talked about the moments leading up to the tornado's touchdown in his neighborhood. Harless and his family built a tornado shelter in their backyard following a storm several years ago.
I shut the latch and got down, and it wasn't 30 seconds later, our ears started popping. We could hear the roar, you know, like everybody describes, of sounding like a freight train. They weren't kidding. Scary as all get out. And anyway, it hit. It probably wasn't 10 seconds. Everything went quiet, and I opened up the hatch, brought it up, looked up at my house, and started laughing, turned around, told my wife, I was like, hey, that remodeling job you wanted, it's gonna happen now. We're missing our roof.
The utility companies will be working into the night to restore power. The American Red Cross will continue to provide aid for the time being, but the most visible thing will be the volunteers, who will continue to clean up the rubble tomorrow and for many days to come. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Corey Olenkamp.
If you would like to help with the relief effort, you can contact the Red Cross at 1-800-RED-CROSS or text Red Cross to 90999 to donate $10. Now, it's just so sad to see all that destruction, Brandon, but you know what? I think from tragedy always arises hope, and it's so great to see the Hoosier State coming together to, you know, clean up and help the city of Kokomo.
I got friends down there right now helping out with the relief effort. They deserve some sunshine.
They do.
A little bit of warm weather. So let's check in with Chris Swaim and get our full look at weather.
Hey, you guys pretty much nailed it. I mean, this was a really truly tragic event, and I can't stress how important or how significant this event was, and we got really lucky to avoid a lot of that damage. Let's talk about temperatures nationwide here for a second. Some warmer temperatures generally hanging on in the south, 59 in Dallas. But look, as we get closer to the Midwest here, these temperatures really start to drop. Now, if you notice just to our west, warmer temperatures are starting to build, and that will be coming our way in just a few days. Our state's capital here at 35, 34 in Bloomington, and Muncie sitting here at 30 degrees. That wind has shifted to the east at 6 miles per hour and is even playing a factor on the feels-like temperature, bringing it down to 24. This pressure is generally staying high, and what that means is it's going to start to break up a lot of these clouds. We're going to have clear skies through the night, as you can see this dry slot that comes up in between these two patches of clouds. But generally tomorrow we're going to see clouds start to build. And this is really setting the stage for what we can see to come. Today we struggled to only reach 41 degrees, and that has a big part to do with the fact that we started out at 28. Not some pretty cold air, as you could see, compared to our averages. 50 for the high and 33 for the low, and actually within 90 degrees of that record low temperature today. That was the story statewide. Let me take a look at these temperatures. Generally in the mid-40s, South Bend, the farthest north, our highest temperature. That's a little inverted of what we normally see. Usually the city farther to the south sees a warmer temperature. Let's talk about tonight for a second. As I mentioned, as soon as that dry slot comes in, clouds are going to start to build. These temperatures are going to plummet down to 29 degrees with an east-northeast wind at 5 to 7 miles per hour. Now tomorrow, this is where it's going to be different from today. We're actually going to get a little bit warmer than what we saw today, and that's going to have a lot to do with that sunshine. This is going to be the start of a warming trend, but I'll get more on that in just a minute. This has in part to do with this frontal system that's approaching. As you can see, it stretched from northeast to southwest across Illinois as it makes its way towards Indiana. Now this is going to bring heavier bands of precipitation Thursday, and it's not going to be quite what we saw Sunday, not even anywhere near, in fact. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder and some heavy rain, but nothing more than that. And look at this model just erupt with precipitation across the entire region, so expect some rain and a few rumbles of thunder. And that's highlighted here in my 7-day forecast, as you can see. What starts out as light precipitation on Thursday generally moves to 70%. And when I say percent, I want you to think of that as an aerial coverage. Now, if I were to take 100 blocks over Muncie, I think 70 of those are going to see precipitation. Just which of those blocks needs to be resolved later. Temperatures are going to nosedive after that into the 20s, actually some air that we haven't seen that cold since February 16th of this past year.
All right, we'll keep our umbrella handy. Appreciate that, Chris.
Definitely. Thanks,
well,
Chris.
Ball State may be a smaller school than most, but hey, it's got some big-time ballers.
After the break, Aaliyah English will tell you which of the members of the football team are getting some major national attention. Stay tuned.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back. Aaliyah English here with your NewsLink Sports. Last night, Ball State's boys basketball team took on Southeast Missouri. This was a very eventful night for the basketball team, beating Southeast Missouri 87-83. Standout players of the night were Chris Bond, as he led the team with a career high of 20 points. You see here with the assist and the big dunk from Chris Bond. Like I said, the career high of 20 points. And he won't start there as he goes to the board with the contact and he puts down the 2 points. Along with Chris Bond came Xavier Turner and Jesse Berry, who had 19 points on the night of their own. And senior Majuk had his first season double-double of the night as he had 11 points and 12 rebounds. With this win, Ball State Cardinals are hoping to use its momentum as they take on the highly anticipated Butler Bulldogs. Tip-off for the Bulldogs and the Cardinals will be Saturday in Worthing Arena at 2 o'clock. Moving right along, Ball State junior receiver Willie Snead has been selected as one of 10 semifinals for the 2013 Biletnikoff Award. This award recognizes outstanding collegiate receivers. Fans can vote for Snead by simply going to the Biletnikoff Award fan vote website, or go to ballstatesports.com and to the football category and click on the Vote Here button. Voters can vote at least once a day, and voting closes on Sunday. 3 of the finalists will be announced on Monday, and finally, the award winner will be announced live on ESPN's Home Depot College Football Award Show on October 12th.
All right, we appreciate that, Aaliyah. Thank you very much. Well, coming up, the odds are ever in the favor of Ball State students who want to see the Catching Fire midnight premiere.
And NewsLink reporter Megan Melton has the scoop on registering for Ball State's 10th annual dance marathon right after the break.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
games begin. This Thursday, the second installment of the Hunger Games trilogy comes to theaters in Muncie. Ball State has obtained an entire theater for a private showing for students for the midnight showing. The tickets are $10 and are only available while time lasts. If you are interested in going, go ahead over to the Student Center to reserve yours, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Ball State's dance marathon has been going on at BSU since 2003. It's a lot of fun and it's for a good cause. Reporter Megan Melton is going to tell us how to register.
Ball State University Dance Marathon is a student-run organization dedicated to raising money and awareness for Riley Children's Hospital. This year's BSUDM will be held on February 22nd from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. in Ball State's Field Sports Building. This organization helps children with illnesses such as Down syndrome, as well as help children with injuries like a broken arm. When it all comes down to it, BSUDM will lead to helping children in need. Ball State's Dance Marathon has tons of fun activities such as learning a dance sequence, prizes, games, and even meeting some of the Riley children. Well, you can't participate in all this fun without registering. So Zach Brown, Director of Media Relations for BSUDM, can give us more information on how to register as a dancer.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Zach Brown. I'm the Director of Media Relations for Ball State University Dance Marathon 2014. And I'm just here to tell you guys a little bit about our dancer registration week that's wrapping up. We have a goal of 1,500 dancers for our event this year on February 22nd, 2014 from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. And we're looking to raise $250,000. It's part of the Quarter Mil Thrill that you'll find on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a good night.